meets up with that chick again at her hotel, and then he's like, she's like, I gotta take you to the hospital, blah blah blah, and he's like, no, like no hospital. He's like, call to my buddy, and then like that dude showed up and like basically did some. I don't want to go too far if you haven't watched it yet, but
I'm trying to find the part in the show where I'm like watching it, but I'll figure it out.
I mean, it's only like 30 minutes long. It's like,
is it?
Probably
just they're super
the
quick.
Started out like an hour. The first one was, I think, and then the second one was like 45, and then the rest have just been like 33. And I'm like, what? Like, you can't do a drama show in 33 minutes.
Yeah, seriously. We are live, everyone. Happy Cinco de Mayo.
Oh, that's right. I didn't have any alcohol yet.
Well, it is 10. Well, it is 10 in the morning. Yeah, I think you need to get on that, dude.
I got hydration drink and coffee.
Hydration drink and coffee. That's good.
Lips were a little chapped this morning, so I need to rehydrate.
Yeah.
And at least this hits it in the head first before I start drinking water.
Hits it in the head. Jesus.
Yeah.
You're crazy. Yeah. All right, that's the end of our show. Just kidding. No, just kidding.
See ya.
Dude, let's start the show off with something that we watched earlier, or talking about yesterday. This is Jason. We were talking about Halloween costumes, and this is what we're gonna do. Hold on. Let's do it.
Senzo Tanaka is his Shidoshi. Then show us the Dimmak.
What the hell is a Dimmak? Left touch.
That's it. That's our costume. Jason's gonna dress up because he's got the hair for the dude
Jackson
as Jackson, and I'm gonna be the Dimmak guy. That's it. And we're just gonna go around. I'm gonna wear my pajamas, and that's our costume for Halloween. Yeah, we talked about it yesterday. Yeah, it's stupid. That was a stupid way to open the show up. Anyway, yeah. Happy May the 4th be with you. Be with you. Yesterday, happy Cinco de Mayo to all you Cinco de Mayo people that celebrate Cinco de Mayo. I'm going to a soccer game today. I got my Mexico jersey on. It's pouring here in Seattle, so I will be wet as hell. That makes no sense.
It's supposed to break a little bit here.
It's supposed to break a little bit, huh?
Yeah.
Is it supposed to break like your iPad's about to break because you keep adjusting it?
Well, it's this. It's bright.
Oh.
And even blocking it with my fucking big ass head don't work.
Yeah. So, dude, how was Vegas, man? Did you have a good time?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was it was not a weird experience, but it was just like I figured, like at least I usually gamble something, and I didn't gamble one freaking penny the whole time.
You're the one out of 3 million people that did not gamble while you're in Vegas.
Yeah, like not even $1 in the slot machine, nothing.
Nothing. Just all those bells and whistles. You didn't have any temptation whatsoever.
I did. It's just everything. So our flight, I think I told you how our flight got delayed at least like 2 hours on the way there.
Yeah.
So it, like, not that that's a lot, but it kind of like threw everything askew because it was like we got in later and it was just kind of like, all right, let's like ground ourselves after the flight and this and that, get some food. But it was like an early to bed kind of thing because the festival started at, I think gates opened at 11 and the first band started at like 11:45 or noon.
Talk about that pork chop you had.
Tomahawk pork chop. Oh, that's so good.
yeah, dude. What was the place you guys went to again?
It was called Javier's at the Aria Hotel and Casino.
Dude, I used to go to the Aria, and I remember back in the day. This is like during like the crash. It was like $100. It was like $125 a night to stay there.
Yeah.
And now it's like $200, dude. Like good times back in the day.
Yeah, but
you're back. Well, you're not back. You were on the show yesterday or last week, so that was cool.
Until my phone burnt out.
Your phone died, yeah.
It like literally overheated as soon as the sun cleared the hotel, and it was just like beating off of it.
Yeah, that's hilarious.
I couldn't feel it on the back where I was holding it, but then I touched the screen and I was like, oh, I'm like, that thing's hot.
I know.
I couldn't even text you for a few minutes. I had to cool down. I was like, let's just throw you over here by the ice bucket.
Yeah. No, it's cool, man. It's funny to have you and Fedora like doing the Fedora thing.
Outside.
Yeah, outside. We outside. Fedora's working an extra shift over at Midtown today, so he won't be joining the show. And
replenishing
so we'll miss him.
That big free comic book day yesterday.
What's that?
I said replenishing after getting to. Did they get slammed from free comic book day? I wonder.
Probably, man.
I know they had one of the CGC things there at one of the Midtown, probably their main store.
That's like peak like ridiculousness, man. Like I will never do. I feel like free comic book day is just for kids, and that's the way it should be. I mean, that's just my personal opinion on it. I just would never like. I'm not down with like hunting for like a first appearance on free comic book day books because like from what I've seen, like they don't really hold value. I don't know. That's just what I mean,
yeah, I think the only free comic book day books that I have currently are just I have like 2 copies of Blade's Daughter, like that one.
Yeah,
that's it.
I think the only way to go with free comic day is like those ratios that you guys got to buy aftermarket. It just seems weird to like. Just seems weird to me to like go hunting at different stores and like I don't know, whatever. I don't want to hate on it people. But good morning to the chat. What's up, Rudy? Long time no. Well, no, I think we saw you last week. But good to see you in the chat today.
I couldn't see anybody because of the sun.
That's right. You need the sun.
And Fedora wanted the sunglasses on, so I was like, I can't see the screen. He's like, you don't need to see the screen.
What's up, Michael Baker? Always thank you for your support as always, man. Good to see you in the chat and on other streams that I log into. Ray FTW, what's going on, man? Welcome to the show. I don't think I've seen you before. And Cody, my dog from the Midwest. Caitlin Clark is all I keep seeing on my tweets and all that. I haven't actually watched her game yet, but I'll definitely pick up on that later.
I'm highly debating on going out to the Midwest for Knotfest 2024. Slipknot's festival. They're from Iowa.
So it's in Iowa?
Yes, they do like a big festival. So they're doing
I go.
Knotfest 2024 in Iowa. I think it's going to be.
I don't know if I'd go to. I'd go to Iowa. I don't know if I'd go to the fest with you.
What, you want to get in the pit for Slipknot?
I don't want to I don't want to hurt anybody. You know what I mean? That was a total joke.
I thought it was kind of funny though that since you mentioned Caitlin Clark, like I saw like they're like Caitlin Clark's tearing up the WNBA and they started showing like highlights. I was like, didn't she just get drafted like a week ago?
Yeah,
what the hell happened?
That's like there's no like pregame, no nothing like they just roll in.
There's no like lead up, no like nothing.
That's like the one. And I don't even know what it's like a $20 book now. I don't know, but that's your alt. Oh man, that's your other name. Okay, cool. Women's basketball sucks. Oh man, I gotta disagree with you on that one, man. But Comic Collector, good to see you in the chat, man.
I'm not a big fan of college basketball in general.
I'm not a big
men's or women's
college basketball because I like no fun. My name's Pickles.
I just don't like it.
Do you miss out? Dude, you're missing out on Knotfest. Oh, that shit is so much fun. Okay. All right, I'll go.
It's not like it's not like all heavy bands. I think Guar's playing this year too, if I remember correctly.
Okay. It's not all heavy bands. I think Guar is playing too.
Guar's like ska punk kind of with but they just kill people on stage.
We're going to go into the show. I'm just kidding. I want to thank everyone for joining us on a Sunday morning. We grew quite a bit like the past week or so. I was telling Jason that we're at 625 subscribers. We're not monetized yet. We still got a ways to go. We just got to keep doing stuff and keep putting stuff out there. But I've been doing these like market videos for video games and comic books like every Monday and Thursday whenever I have time. And it seems like the community's liking those episodes or those videos. Chat, let me know if you guys want me to keep doing those. I like to do more like current sales of just stuff that's kind of quote unquote hot or what have you, or trash on FOC shows. I'm just kidding. And yeah, I mean, I think it's a good thing to do. It's been pretty cool to like research stuff versus like kind of our more segmented show that we do on Sundays. So I'll keep doing them if you guys like doing it. If you guys like it, try watching like the whole videos, because it does take me a little bit of time, and I do during my break at work and stuff. Like I think the last show I did, I had my shirt and tie on. It's kind of embarrassing. People were making fun of me, but that's okay. But yeah, I'll keep doing them if you guys want to keep watching the content. And thanks guys. Yeah, I appreciate it, guys. Cody and E2.
I saw you wearing the shirt and tie in the last one.
Is that really what you want me to do? Doesn't matter what it is, because I could talk about. Never mind. We won't go there.
You don't even hit the precipice of like the weird shit that we talk about on the side.
I know. Like what the hell is a Denmark? Anyway.
Yeah, that was like 30 minutes worth of talking yesterday.
I want everyone to watch Bloodsport after this show. And I promise once we get a milestone once we hit 650 subscribers or 2,500 hours viewed, so we have to kind of keep going. That's how YouTube works, is like you have to keep doing content. It has to be 300 or 3,000 hours of content viewed over a 365 day kind of like a year basically. And then anyway, yeah, that's how you get monetized for super chats. And I'm just curious of how it works, and it'd be cool to see and stuff. But we'll keep doing the show as long as the people like it. And yeah, let's get into the show. I didn't show this to Pickles at all, because I literally just finished up this morning. So, and screw that guy. Nobody likes him here. Anyway. But yeah, it's just another market report. I wanted to do kind of something, and the reason why I did this particular era was because this is the beginning of my most current iteration into reading comic books. It was like 2016, 2017. I used 2014 because I was looking at back issues from that point on, just trying to get caught up on different content. But it made me kind of think like, what stuff is like held the test of time, and like what else is like kind of held with everything else. There's some books here that like they're super rare. They have kind of held through with like the pandemic. They're not necessarily pandemic prices, but I hope you guys, some of these are like, books we've talked about in the past, obviously, or books that you probably all have on your radar. But I hope you guys like the content for this week's episode. So I will shut up and get into it. Pickles is going to be my commentary for how dumb these books are. And I don't think Pickles has any of these books. I have like 2, I think. No, I don't have any of these books because I sold off at Matina. Anyway, a lot of these books, and the other thing too I found was like, so like me personally, my preference is like, I want like all 3. I want a good cover, I want a good artist, I want a good writer, and I want a good first appearance. What I found with these books is like there's no first appearances in any of these books I'm mentioning today, but the value of these books are like, I was just shocked to find the prices for some of these books. I'm gonna end the show with like a pretty big, like, I felt like it was the grail of the past decade, in my opinion, because it hit just all these different kind of like genres. I hope you guys enjoy the show, and yeah, let's get into it. Before we get into the show though, just go ahead and do us a favor, hit that like button, subscribe, and tell all your friends about our content. If you're not joined into the Discord, hit me up. We will get you into the Discord where we talk about
the stuff.
Cover artist, writer, first appearance, 3 things. Yeah, exactly. Fedora is Michael Baker, man. God damn it. He is working today, so he's not joining the show today. He's not like in purgatory or anything like that. But no, he's we'll see him next week, hopefully. But
Purgatory? Why you get all like crazy like that?
Because you make me crazy. That's why. First, and this is kind of in honor of all you Star Wars nerds and stuff. Star Wars, Darth Maul, #2, David David Aja or Aja variant. First appearance of Cad Bane. Before I get into other details about this book, did you like the Obi-Wan series? Wait,
The show?
Bounty. Sorry, not Obi-Wan. Boba Fett. Did you like the Boba Fett series?
Yeah, I didn't mind it.
Did you
There's
like?
really not like anything that I haven't disliked. I've found things to like about all of them.
Yeah.
I just take it for what it is. Like, there's so many people that were like, "Oh, they should have done this," and blah, 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 and they get pissed at the shows. Like, there's a lot of people that hate that Boba Fett show, and I'm just like, it was fine. It is what it is. Like, fucking, who cares?
I feel like the people that really complained about it the most were like people that bought Boba Fett's first appearance for like $6K, and we're thinking it's gonna go to like 20.
I mean, they got a new season, so I'm pretty sure they signed on for season 2.
Somebody liked it. And I think all the other thing about Star Wars is like, I think Star Wars fans are expecting like the original trilogy like every time. It's just like, that's why it's hard to like redo these shows or like to expand the universe, because you can't get better than the original because it's the original. That's why if they ever redo like Godfather, I'll freak out. Just never gonna do it. Yeah, it's just not a thing. Anyway, I thought Cad Bane, that episode was the best, but yeah, it's I was sad that they killed off Cad Bane. Spoilers, everybody. But I think this cover is amazing. It is a first appearance. I apologize, but it's a pretty cool Darth Maul cover. So if you're a Darth Maul fan, I think everyone should have this. I think this book, I forgot what year this book came out. It was like 2014, but 9.6 sold for $250, which I think is respectable. Raws are asking between like 50 to 100. I saw 9.8 go for 500. I don't know if it's ever gonna go over that hump of $500, but I mean, who knows? Like, it's a tough one for me to like say go out and buy this book, and that's not really sure what the show's about or what our channel is about in general. But yeah, man, was this ever on your radar? Did you ever bid on this? I remember like Vintage Comics and Toys, shout out to Phil, had like a bunch of these, and I remember he got these up pretty good when the show came out.
Made a slaughtering.
The what?
Made a slaughtering.
Made a slaughtering. Yeah, sure.
Well, I mean, if it like skyrocketed as soon as he showed up in the show, then you'd probably get pretty hefty. It's pretty profitable sales.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Did you ever seek this book out? I don't think it's really under your radar, but
no, I mean, I like Cad Bane as a character, but also I didn't really watch. I mean, so I can't say that I didn't watch any of the animated stuff, because I'm like still. I've been trying to watch Clone Wars for like the better part of the last like 6 to 7 years, probably.
Tough. Like,
I don't even think I'm past the first season. I haven't watched it in years. Like, it's just, I don't know what it is. Like, when I watch the animated stuff, I'm just not as into it as I would be the live action stuff. And I know that that's like a big thing because people really love those shows, and they have like story to them. But it's just like I think it's the same reason why I haven't watched X-Men 97 still. It's just like I can't. For whatever reason, like I don't have any drive to watch the animated shit anymore. Like,
the animated show is like tough to watch because it's so many episodes, and I had it going on when I was like working from home, like on another monitor, and so I just had it in passing. But like, I think it's good. It's just, it's like, it's one of those shows that you just have to get over the hump, and then once you get over that hump, it just goes really quick.
Yeah, like I'm either like near the end of season 1 of Clone Wars, or like maybe somewhere at the start to halfway of season 2. I can't like I said, it's been years since I've actually like turned it on.
Yeah. Michael Baker goes, haven't watched X-Men 97? The fuck? Yeah. I agree with Michael on that one, dude. Like, I think you need to come by the crib. I'll cook some lumpia and then jalapeno hot wings. We'll have Isela like come through, and she'll do some carne asada, and we'll have Final Fantasy 7 and X-Men 97 on another one. I think that's a good idea. She's watching the show, has no idea what's going on right now. Regardless of like, I guess, of this book. But no, you're right, Jason. Like it's hard to if you can't get over that hump to watch X-Men 90 or sorry, the Clone Wars or any of those cartoons, it's tough to get over. I would say Rebels is easier to watch because it's only 4 seasons.
Mhm.
And I honestly think that the Rebels show is my favorite out of the cartoon Star Wars stuff because it's kind of in that same it's in that same genre or sorry, the same timeline that we watch Star Wars. That's so nice to us. I would give that a shot.
Yeah.
Which episode was 10 out of 10? Was it X-Men 97? And Southpaw Brad, you're never late, man. It's oh wait, sounds like a bro date. We had a bro date yesterday. Big time bro date. Yeah. What's going on, man? Chopper is the best. He's pretty cool. Let's see here. All right. So moving on to the next one. Let's see here. Yeah, where's their favorite? Where's the number one Brad? Where's Brad Selden? He's not even in the chat, man. Brad, if you're watching this, you're downgraded, dude. Southpaw Brad's number one Brad again. It's one, as you guys can tell, like we're a little Star Wars heavy. Thrawn number one, the 1 in 50 Matina variant. I remember when I was watching content like in 2020, 2021, I had no idea about Thrawn because I didn't watch it yet. Okay, yes, X-Men 97. Okay, cool. I missed it this week, but yeah, we'll see. Cody, like I agree. But this book, dude, 1 in 50. It's not Thrawn's first appearance. That's arguably in like different comic books and magazines, whatever. But it's the first, like, I would say cover of Thrawn, like encompassing the whole cover, obviously. It's my Star Wars Grail because I like Thrawn personally, and it's a modern book. This is crazy. Raws are still going for like plus 500, like literally like a week ago. That's a tough raw to spec on because a 9.6 goes for about the same amount. I probably would just go for a 9.6 and try and crack it and repress it, like risk that way versus getting a raw, submitting it, yada yada. 9.8s are kind of going for a premium, so like 1,500 plus. I think people just don't want to sell this book, and I didn't find a lot of sales for this book either. Pickles, Jason, whatever your name is, Thrawn. Do you think he's like the baddies for this modern Star Wars genre? Or do you have an opinion?
Yeah, I think it was either gonna like initially I believed it was to be Kylo because I thought that was the way they were gonna go until obviously what happens at the end of the newer trilogy.
Don't tell me.
What?
Don't tell me.
But then they moved into Thrawn, and I see his character picking up more steam as far as other people. So maybe going forward he will be. But it is Star Wars. They could fucking throw you a curveball in the next movie and go out of left field and bring in another Sith. Like, you never know. So
yeah,
it's hard to say with Star Wars because they just kind of do what they want.
yeah. Michael Baker with some info. So yeah, I think that was the one that I saw too. I didn't list it because I saw one somewhere it'll go for 1,500 plus, but maybe that was just asking. I'm not sure, but that's just crazy to me, man. Like this book, I'm not even going to pandemic prices, but like even like, so this is what I think the pandemic did. This is a little bit more of my like finance kind of like expertise is like, and Southpaw Brad can attest to this as well. Okay, so put away COVID prices, right? I don't think we'll ever get back to COVID prices. I don't think interest rates will ever go back to COVID rates. However, what COVID in that kind of era did is it pushed assets past their pricing point, maybe by 10 or 15 years, but they settled down to where they currently are because for the longest time, they were stagnant, right? So I feel that this, if the pandemic didn't occur, this book may have never been past $500 and 9.8, but it just brought more attention to people. the pandemic just brought more attention to these collectibles that those people have stayed in the market. It's a growing community, and that's why it's still holding prices of like 2,200, like Michael Baker was taking earlier. And I just think that it's interesting to see that these books that got pushed up by the pandemic are still getting pretty like healthy prices. Is it really growing though? I mean, yeah, I think it is. E2 Comic Collector for sure. I don't know. I just don't know if it's going to go past 2,200. That's all. And I think the community is actually growing. It's just not growing in the same way that we consume it as like Gen X, Gen Z, or not Gen Z, Gen X. What are you, a millennial? Yeah, millennial. Because I think this is what, I mean, I could say that Fedora's attested to this as well. And like my younger relatives have also consumed the property or the genre this way as well. They're not going and getting individual issues because they don't have money. However, they have money to buy a compendium or a trade paperback and read a whole series 1 through 50 of Invincible or Batman or whatever, what have you. But they're not a Wednesday warrior. That's just what I think. You think it'll shoot if canon? I mean, it's possible. And I think it's like, I don't think I would buy this book for $500 raw or a 9.6 like for $500. It's just crazy to me that it's still holding the value of it. So I think it's a combination of comic book collector that just wants that book, or a Star Wars collector that thinks Thrawn is like the shit, and that's their Darth Vader. And for whatever reason, it's still holding up. And because I don't think this was like a rare print, honestly. But yeah, we'll see. Good stuff in the chat today, guys. Miles Morales, Ultimate Spider-Man #1. So I think, and people said this on past, like, it kind of just stuck with me, but people said this on past like shows. If they ever make this into a cutscene on a video game or in the movie, whether animated or live action, holy cow! Like, this book's just gonna run. 1,750 raw in February. Crazy. Dude, have you ever seen this like on Robot Monster Island's whatnot shows, or like anybody's shows?
No,
I never have either, man.
I mean, if I had, it was a long time ago.
Mm-hmm.
Well, a long time ago. I say that like whatnot's been around. It's like
it feels like a long time ago, though, for sure.
Yeah. But I've never actually seen anybody with a copy of it. What's the ratio on this? Is it 100?
1 in 50, I want to say.
But yeah, I've never seen it in the wild. Never seen anybody actually have a copy of it, other than, I mean, like, obviously I've seen the pictures of it online or when people are selling them, but that's about it.
Yeah, I like Cody, man. Like, I've never seen this in person as well. Did you ever go hunting for this book though, or like on eBay or whatever?
What? Sorry, I was like reading the chat for a second.
No, it's okay.
I forgot that Fedora wasn't here, so I was just like, somebody's going to answer that. And I was like, wait, was he talking to me or did he ask a question?
What the hell's a Dinmok?
Yeah.
Just say it real quick. Say it.
What the heck? What do you say? What the heck is a dim Mac?
Yeah, that's right.
Anyway, he says it all American. He's like, what the hell is a dim Mac?
They're like, no, say it again. That was a 10th take that they did. No, I was just asking, have you hunted for this book ever?
No, that thing's been like so far out of price range for me since I got back into collecting that I'm
it's
just like,
ridiculous.
It's cool to look at, but like I don't want to pay $1,700 raw for that shit.
Yeah. And Cody's like, I hate Thrawn. Michael Baker, yeah, that's a great question. So $5,000 for this in 9.8, or that Spawn 350 version that sold 2 weeks ago? I'm going to take it a step further. Would you rather have 398 UF4s? No, yeah, because it's around like 1,300, or one of these in 9.8? What would you rather have, Pickles?
I'd probably take this in a 9.8. I don't need 4 UF4 is taking up space.
I think I'd rather have this in a 9.8.
I like this cover
versus
better,
3.
anyways.
This he was how many years older? Even though it's oh, I don't know what Mojo's talking to. What are you talking about, Mojo? I just never.
He's talking about Thrawn.
Oh, it's talking about Thrawn. Okay. I don't even know how old Thrawn's supposed to be. That's a good question, man. I don't. Yeah, I would rather have this at 9.8 because I think the cover is like amazing, and I think there's, even though I think that UF4 will slowly increase because it's the first app, but I think this will like Miles collectors like my nephews or like they don't know this cover, but they knew UF4 to be known as whatever, and this is more rare, right?
See, the thing is like I would like I said, I would take this over the UF4s, but like you're saying, like the UF4 is probably the book to hang on to long term if you want it to hit prices like say an ASM1 does now, with like having it be the first appearance of Miles and then like pretty much the newer Spider-Man for this generation. Like by the time we hit our 70s or 80s and whatever, and that book's progressed decades, like it might be worth a lot more by then.
Right. That's a great analysis, man. And like I just feel like, how many UF4s have you had before? Like of any printing?
Second print, that's it. I've had like 2, maybe 3.
Yeah, but you've had 2.
So I have 1 left.
So like you've had 2 more than than this book, right? And like what we said, like I couldn't find any sales for this book, so I think people are not selling this book for whatever reason. And I saw a UF4 is very liquid, right? But I feel like if you put this out for like at auction, it's gonna get a bunch of people hitting it, versus UF4, like there's just so many options out there. I'm not gonna look into the census count for this book, but I know it's pretty small in like 9.8. But like raw for $1,700, man, that's crazy. That's more than a 9.8 UF4. So to put in perspective. So kind of going back, this is more for comic collectors, but I was thinking about this book and I was like, man, like how cool would it be if you were an MCU fan like 5 years from now and like you're like, yeah, the first appearance of Thanos is like pretty cool. However, this cover is amazing. Hey, what's up? What's up, Kingdom of Nerds? Thanks for coming through. Bruce, if you guys aren't following Kingdom of Nerds on YouTube, do yourself a favor. Do it.
Wait, Jessica Alba?
Yeah, I always called it the Jessica Alba variant because Albuquerque, get it. No, not funny.
Sure, I get it. I just didn't. I thought you were trying to say that Jessica Alba drew this. I was like, I didn't.
She did. She did.
I didn't know she draws.
She did. She did draw it. Yes.
Cool.
Anyway, so have you ever seen this book before?
This is what, first Cosmic Ghost Rider?
It is the first Cosmic Ghost Rider, yes.
I have this actually. Not this book. I have a different variant signed by Stegman and Cates.
Oh, okay. Yeah, sorry. I think I lost
it. It's that cover where he's sitting on the throne. That one.
The cover that he's sitting on the throne.
Yeah,
oh yeah, is that the first print?
That might be the main cover. Or I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah, it's there. The cover that they did. I have that one signed or double signed by them.
Really?
Yeah.
Damn it!
What?
I got outbid, and I think I lost it. Oh well, that's okay. Next time.
Outbid on what? Like that reverse flash that went last night?
Yeah, like that.
Dude,
sorry, I was a little distracted there.
That thing like was gone super quick. Like he had just put it up, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, it ended. I was like, damn it, that only went for like 230. I was like,
yeah.
Somebody got a fucking deal.
Yeah. See, that was insane, man. Like 230, man. That 3.0. That's
even at a 3.0 copy for reverse flash, like
ridiculous.
Somebody made out.
I know. Man. So yeah, I was bidding on a Breath of the Wild first print. 9.8. Oh, it went for way more than I wanted it to. Yeah, it's more than I wanted to bid anyway. That's cool.
I know sometimes those ones that you'll get outbid at the end, and then you see the final price. You're like, oh, you're like, there's no fucking way I was going that high.
Yeah. So you feel better about it. Yeah, it ended like at 10:30. I was like, it's fine. What am I gonna do with that? Yeah. So I always call this a Jessica Alba variant because of it's by Albuquerque. But I think this. So what made me think about this book was Donny Cates. This was like his like ascent, right, to like stardom. It started with this Thanos series. A 500 one for 9.6, or a 9.6 one for $500. I can't personally justify it being that high, but I feel like if you were to get this book, grade it, and put it up like on, your living room or your video game room or what have you, everyone would be like, dude, that is a sick cover of Thanos, and everyone would know who it is, right? This book, I can't find a lot of sales on this book either. And just due to the fact that probably people just are not letting go of this book. But it's a beautiful cover. Get it signed maybe by Josh Brolin or dare I say Donny Cates. I don't know. But yeah, I just think it's sick. And it's a book that I would put on my watch list just for fun. But I kind of forgot about this series in general. Did you actually read the series, this Thanos series?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty good, man. I mean, Donny Cates, like, I'm sure people in the chat, like, if you were reading comic books back then, like, man, Cates was the man, dude. He was freaking awesome. But yeah, I don't know if anyone in the chat has this book, but it being a later issue, I'm guessing that get it signed by Donny before you tease. Oh shit. I'm guessing that
real.
Yeah. I'm guessing that the print run's not very big on this book, and I've never seen it in person, but that was me. I mean, he's kind of a jerk anyway. I know
People make
going.
People make their own life decisions.
That's true. But yeah, nonetheless, like, I do hope Donny Cates comes back with a vengeance, and this was like just all a ruse to like get us all like excited for his comeback. But I think, anyway,
finish it.
19 live today with us on a Sunday morning, 37 minutes into the show. I want to thank everyone in the community for supporting us, for watching our shows, for just dealing with all the stupid stuff we talk about every Sunday, and for dealing with Jason's hair. That's the biggest thing, I think, lately, is because a lot of people were upset about your hair and they were going to leave
upset
the show. Yeah. They were like not liking it at all.
No. Yeah. It is what it is.
It is what it is. You're correct.
Not ready to shave it off yet.
Not ready to shave it off. So I think this book came out right before the pandemic started, but this was a Kickstarter, Brian Pulido goodness. Since doing this show, we've been doing this for more than a year, like a year and like 4 months, maybe like a little bit longer than that. I've always been able to find listings of books. I've always been able to find like last sold. I always feel like the comic book market's pretty liquid still to a point. It may not be fetching the prices like, we've seen before. However, pause real quick. Spider Guy Murphy says, for the record, I love your hair, Pickles. It looks just like mine. I'd be honored to bang my head with you. There
was definitely some moshable moments in Vegas last weekend. The bruise is finally gone. For the longest time, I was like, why does my calf hurt me? Like, I was at work and doing stuff, and I rolled my pant leg up. I had this fat bruise on the back of my calf, and I was like, what the hell is that from? I was like, oh, that's right. I probably got it was either from when one dude was trying to crowd surf from behind me and fell like directly on me.
Oh my God.
And I think I either got smashed there or like it was probably somewhere in the pit, because we went in the pit for a few of them.
I want to highlight Michael Baker's question real quick, because it's really good, but I want to ask you something about mosh pits in general. Do people ever get like pissed off and like start fights in the mosh pit? Or everyone's pretty cool?
Yes and no. Like, usually the fights don't happen in the mosh pit. Usually it's like it's a community of people. Like, if you get knocked down, there'll be like 10 people there to pick you right back up type of deal. Mm-hmm. Nobody's really in there to try to hurt anybody, but sometimes you get drunk assholes that fucking get all butthurt and pissed off, and fights do start, but it's usually not there. It's usually like somewhere on the outskirts, and security usually just takes them straight out. They're like, yeah, you want to fight? Fine, here, you're gone. You can go fight out here.
And then like, how do you like when you're in a mosh pit? Like, how are you like, hey, like I'm gonna push you? Is just kind of known?
Yeah, I mean, it's just kind of an area. Like, it'll just kind of happen, and then anybody that wants to be in it will go in. Anybody that doesn't want to will just kind of back up and form, like, let them get their space and have a circle.
Yeah. Like, if I were going to mosh pit, like, would people like be like, "Oh yeah"?
Talking about getting targeted?
Yeah.
No, I mean, I don't think anybody's been targeted.
Would
before.
you target me?
I'm gonna plead the fifth.
Here's my chance. Oh.
It's like he's not looking.
I got nailed in the head by a flying drumstick in the pit. That's awesome. I get that, like, autographed.
Yeah, drummers, when they just throw shit when they break them in the middle of a song or whatever, they're just like, here you go. Somebody will get it.
Mojo Quick got to see Anthrax and Cross Off getting caught in a mosh pit to caught in a mosh off my bucket list. That's awesome. Oh man, we got some metalheads in here. So back to Michael Baker's question, man. Before we get into this book, what's a bigger crime by Cates? Making Null go out running like a little bitch, or making the Hulk into a spaceship? Oh man, that's a good one. I think making Null, like, he could not stick that landing at all. Like, he just can't stick landings. And so I think
he's, what is it, Leon Lett of comics?
He's like
he'll carry that fumble all the way back to the 1 yard line and then just drop it.
Yes, every time. And like he missed it like right on like the 1 yard line. Like, you kind of know, like, obviously, like, the chances of Null being killed or destroyed, right, is pretty high. But it's like how they die. And there's so much lead up into it. And I felt that, like, I don't know how I would have done it, because I'm not a writer, but he just had to, like, I just wish he didn't kill him off. I wish he just would have, like, been retreated or something. I don't know. See, I don't even know how to end it. But yeah, I think that was a bigger crime because I loved Null so much.
Yeah, well, and plus, like, the build up to Null was longer than his actual, like, stay in the comics once he did get there.
I know.
They spent so much time bringing him in, and then they're just like, hey, here's this fucking limited run of Venom, and he's gone.
And I cannot remember a time where I could not wait for a book and it had that staying power. We had to wait a whole freaking year for the King in Black to come. And I thought it was going to be like a brand new world. I thought Null would go on to like try and conquer like other like universes. But
didn't they like kill him by flying him into the sun or some shit?
Yeah, I mean, and the thing was like that it was like a 5 series like comic book series. The first 4 like issues were awesome, and then it just like it was like Russell Wilson throwing a pick at the end of the game, the Super Bowl. Like, it was all this lead up to, and they're like, oh,
fucking Malcolm Butler. Punch that guy in the face
dude.
if I ever see him.
Yeah, seriously.
I'll run up and slap him and be like, "What that for? What's that for?" I'm like, "I'm from Seattle, bitch." And then just walk away.
Yeah. Anyway, that's as I thought. Okay, back to this
book. Hit him with the Marshawn Lynch.
Yeah, boom. So I don't know if anyone has this book in the chat or has ever seen it. But I'm trying to share because at the Patriots. Have you ever seen this book, Jason? I feel this is like your genre of like nerdiness.
I've never seen it in the wild, no.
Have you know of it though, right?
Yeah, like I'm not the biggest Art Germ fan, but I really like his like evil females, I guess. Like he does female villains very well on covers.
Yeah.
Or
and like I was
macabre females, I guess. I don't know how much of a villain Lady Death is necessarily, but
no, man, like, and this was a Kickstarter. Like, this is probably like one of the most successful Kickstarters that came out, a while back when Kickstarter was still kind of new. But like, I can't find this book. And Lady Death's not like a popular character. She was really popular when we were like younger. But you pair a beloved character, a great marketer like Brian Pulido, an amazing artist that was up and coming at this point with Art Germ, a small ass print run, and you come up with this. I remember when I was looking for this book initially, it was like $800, like $500 to $800 raw for the different variations because there's 3 different ones. But this one, I think this is like the one that was limited to 1,000. I can't find any of these Lady Death Art Germ comic books, period. And like I was saying earlier, like I usually find some type of listing or sold, and I couldn't find any of that. Huh?
When did this come out? Do you know, like year wise? Was it around the same time as like Deadpool 2, maybe?
Lady
Death. I feel like Lady Death kind of picked up around the release of Deadpool 2, only because like her character getting killed or whatever, and like Lady Death being one of the like main love interests of Deadpool in the comics. Like in the past, everybody kind of, I feel like she kind of became more, had a resurgence, I guess, if you will. And I think, I don't know if people are still anticipating that she's going to become Lady Death at some point based off of the trailer for the new movie. I would say no.
Like I don't know. This book came out in 2018 though.
Oh yeah, that might be around that time. Maybe
maybe you might be right. So wait, Lady Death might come into the MCU. Is that what you're saying?
So in the like, just because in the comics, like Deadpool never really had any like love interests and stuff like that. Lady Death was like one of his love interests because he was fascinated with the fact that like, because he couldn't die, essentially, he was like fascinated with her and was like just in love with her because it was basically death.
Whoa, I did not know that. So yeah, like that's what I'm confused about. Like you're crossing 2 different like properties.
Oh, am I? Okay, then never mind.
Oh no, I mean like that's what it did in the comic book. I didn't know that.
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I just wasn't sure because it was Lady Death cover. I just assumed that it was. I just was wondering if it was peaking because of Deadpool 2 and her association. But I think they're saying it's a different, crossing different characters, different Lady Death.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I think so. No, I think this is it hasn't really peaked. I think it's just like no one's selling this book.
Mm-hmm.
And I can't find any listings for it either. Or I can't find any solds for it either. So yeah, Lady Death, Art Germ, Nightmare, Variant, Virgin, whatever you want to call it. Crazy. I mean, it's crazy if you have the book, like congrats. Here's another book that probably some people in the chat may have. The J. Scott Campbell Black Cat Le Chat Noir variant. I think this is J. Scott Campbell's best cover in the past 10 years. Just based on like, he did like a homage to an original painting. The rarity, the marketing that went down with this piece. $1,300 for a 9.8, I think is pretty fair. And this is kind of like a flipping idea I had. So now that you can get comics graded by CGC, you can find this with a certificate of authenticity. And like, Pickles, have you ever bought anything from J. Scott Campbell's like store exclusively?
No, I have not.
What's up, Tony? He has something to say about the Polito stuff. Yeah, these legacy variants that Polito started doing with top name artists are the rarest variants for his Kickstarter launches. They just appear, yeah, dude, and that's exactly, man. I can't find anywhere. Pickles, I have, and so you can buy like, he has like these starter kits, or you can just get like a specific like, you know, whatever you want, right? I would and I bought a couple and I got them sent to me. They're like pristine. They're sent in like really nice Mylar or like just really nice like back and boards. They come wrapped in like it's just really well done. Oh damn. That sucks, but you know, we all have our reasons, right? I'm just saying, like, if you could buy this from someone and like it's still in the original packaging, for $750 to be able to double your money, that might not be a bad flip, right? I mean, it's a lot of money, right? $750 is like not a small packet, a small chunk of change, but to be able to double your money, I think it's pretty good. Not all of them, but a majority of them are signed. Like if you go online, like I looked at some listings online, and yeah, there are a lot of these are signed with just the certificate of authenticity. One is listed for like $750, but Pickles, would you be able to muster that like risk, or is that a little too risky for you? I'm just curious.
What, getting the 750 raw?
Like buying one for $750 raw, sending to CGC and getting that gold label signed, in likelihood again 9.8. If you could sell for $1,300, do you think it's worth the risk?
Yeah, I mean, if like this is a character that you're really into or something like that, maybe. I mean, I'm not big into, like, I'm not a huge J. Scott Campbell fan.
Yeah.
Like he just kind of, it is what it is, kind of deal with him.
Yeah.
But like, I don't know if I would be dropping like 750 to try to flip it for 14 or anything like that, or 13.
It's risky, right?
Mm-hmm.
With that said,
especially because what does a 9.6 go for? Is it even less than the raw? Well, I guess it couldn't be less than the raw, but
I mean, I guess
probably wouldn't be. You'd probably be breaking even, or maybe, I mean, less, depending on how much they charge for the signature and all that crap when you send it off.
Yeah, I think it's worth the risk personally, but I get the other side where it's like, man, $750, a 9.6, I might break even, or I might lose $200. I don't know. I'd probably crack open the slab and then just put it back in the original case and sell it raw again. But
for me, it's just like $750. I would rather spend that $750 and get like a Key Swamp Thing book or something like. I mean, you can still get a Swamp Thing 37 like newsstand and a 9.6 for that price, and try to press it for a 9.8 if you.
But you would keep that though. You wouldn't sell it. I'm just speaking.
Oh, you're talking about strictly flipping?
Yes.
Oh, maybe not 750. If they keep, maybe like
750.
Well, like 500. I'd cap out at 500. Round numbers.
God, I hate you. How are we doing this show? Okay, this is the last show we're ever doing. Okay. No, that's cool. No, I mean, I get it too. It's risky, right? But like, just knowing how J. Scott Campbell sends his stuff, I feels like, oh man, I'd be hard pressed to like not have. I'd be shocked if I did not get a 9.8. I haven't looked at the census books either, but I gotta imagine there's not that many out there. But I just think the CGC authenticator, or like autographed authentication service, it's a game changer for CGC. As much as people hate them, we're still using them. I mean, I haven't used them in a long time. I'm actually waiting for 4 books to get graded now. But as much as people talk shit about CGC, until the market says I'm using CBCS or whatever other, genre, it doesn't really matter to shit. The 9.9, 10.0 argument, like, I think that's going to take time to kind of like be people. If you see 1,000 9.8s and then 50 9.9s, yeah, you may see like a shift in the market, right? But I don't think it's really, it's going to take some time for that to really happen. Brad, dude, I don't know. You weren't here earlier. You got downgraded to number 2, Brad. Now Southpaw Brad's number 1, Brad. But no, I appreciate you coming through, Brad. We miss you. That's all. Yeah. So we'll see. We're about an hour into the show. I just want to thank everyone again for joining us today on a Sunday morning. Happy Cinco de Mayo. Happy post May 4th free comic book day. May the free comic book day, whatever, be with you. I enjoy doing the show, but Brad, I mean, you're gonna have to come in with some really amazing comments, and I'm gonna leave it up to the chat. Who should be the number 1 Brad today? It's just the community is just talking, man. I mean, it changes. It's just like the stock market, man. Yeah, it probably does do better than a 9 point. But who knows, right? I don't know. We'll see. I don't know. It's just something I thought would be kind of cool to like see. But let's see. First book I ever sit in the CGC was the Spiderman 9 Whoever that worked on the book. Wow, that's pretty cool, man. I like that. Actually, I was warned I have spies everywhere. And Trev, this is for you, honestly. Dr. Aphra Star Wars 1 in 50 good Lord. I don't like the price of this book, but it is actually my favorite Aphra. If I had a favorite Aphra cover, this is my favorite Aphra cover. It's from her first series, I want to say. The Aphra argument is like, as she's not going to show up in like either cartoon or live action in a long time, and I'm kind of there with you guys, but the market likes this book, man, and I can't really disagree with the market. And yeah, I'm kind of with you too. Hey, Rudy, thanks for coming out, man. Always good to see you. Aphra is also a conundrum for me too. For a while, she seemed guaranteed, and yeah, not so much anymore. Pickles, have you ever been an Aphra fan? And be honest, but don't be too honest.
Not really. Like, I don't know much about the character, but then again, I don't read a lot of new Star Wars stuff either. So I know of the character. I know of the character a little bit. I've had people kind of like describe her to me, but as far as anything outside of that, I don't really know much about her at all.
Yeah. And comments. Oh, sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh no, I was just gonna say like it just isn't a character that I know much about.
Yeah, I tried reading a little bit about her, and then like I mean, I'll be honest, I got caught up in the like, oh man, that first appearance, I could get a 9.4, and I did press into a 9.8, and I got some money out of it. But like, it's just a different side of Star Wars that I've never been really interested in. But I'm curious, like in the chat, like Trev, such a great character. Like, what's cool about her? I mean, I know she's like kind of, she's kind of like Tomb Raider meets Star Wars. And I'll be honest, I kind of agree with E2 on this one. And I don't really know where the talk of her making to the big screen came about. There might have been mentions of her, or like kind of like Easter eggs of her in like the shows. But I felt that the only reason that she's ever been valuable is the concept of her making it to the big screen. And just from what I've seen, it's just going to take a really long time. And I think that there's more emphasis on the Rebels characters coming to big screen versus like Aphra. And that's just my thing as an investor, quote unquote. But I'm going to pass on this book. I don't know.
Well, I've always been like, I think she falls under the character category for me where it's kind of the same reason. Like, there's a lot of people out there that like disagree with my take on it, but like, I wasn't a big fan of Rogue One. I'm not a huge fan of Andor. Like, they were okay to watch, but it took me like 5 times. I had to watch Rogue One 5 times to finish it because I kept falling asleep in it. And so it's mostly just for me. I don't like Star Wars around the side characters. Like, I don't care how they got the plans and stuff like that. Like, I don't give a shit about these like B characters that like aren't doing anything to like, when I think Star Wars, I want Jedi, Sith, Mandalorians. Like, I want Wookiees and that kind of lore. That's just my personal preference. So it's like, I wasn't as into those shows, and she kind of like, from what I've heard about her, she falls kind of in that category of character for me, where it's like, okay, well, you're not really attributing to the like full storyline, but then again, this is me not having read her stuff. So I don't know.
I'm going to actually agree with you on that, Pickles, too. Like, and the chat's going to hate us for this, but I didn't really care for Andor either, or Rogue One. I like the last 10 minutes of Rogue One.
Oh yeah, when Vader came in and
that's freaking badass. But
F things up. But
yeah, I mean, I was watching Andor and I was like, where are the Ewoks?
Yeah, where's my damn favorite part about this thing?
Yeah.
Ewoks.
Oh, Andor. Oh yeah. But yeah, I'm gonna be honest. Like, and I'm not like a huge Star Wars. Like, I used to be when I was a kid. But would I personally say that like Andor and Rogue One were like the best shows ever? No. I want Darth Revan. I want Darth Bane. I want evil freaking, like, I want killing. I don't want victory by the rebels. I don't want the rebels to win. I want them to die. That's why that last 10 minutes of Rogue One was so awesome. Oh, jeez. I woke up. Oh, sorry. I'm so mad. The Luthen speech was pretty cool, but I don't know. And like, I'm not like a huge Star Wars fan. Like, I don't claim that at all, but yeah. And I also like, my favorite movie of all time is like The Godfather, but I guess that some people tell me that's a really boring story, but they're idiots. So anyway.
Well, I mean, like it's not like I didn't watch them. I watched all of them. Like they were entertaining enough for me to like follow along and stuff, but I just didn't find myself investing in any of the characters really. Like,
yeah,
it was just kind of like something to watch, and it was new Star Wars stuff.
Yeah, I'll say this: I'd rather watch Rebels than Andor or Rogue One all day. Because like for me, the Force is like what makes Star Wars like interesting and fun. That's just more my thing. And I'm and if anyone liked Andor and like Rogue One, like yeah, I mean I get it. I just didn't really care for either one of those shows. So this isn't like a huge one. I don't know, people. Oh, E2, I'm about to like oh. Anyway, you're funny. Once in Future #1, the 7th printing of this book. I just was thinking of random books that I really enjoyed a while back. And what's up, Darth Lopez? Aliens extended cut. Check this out. I've seen all the Alien movies except for the first one.
What?
Yeah, dude.
The new one that's coming out is supposed to take place in between.
What the fuck? That is so rude. You're not. Are we? I guess we are. Okay. Well, I don't like you anymore, Michael. Sorry, go ahead, Jason.
What?
You're saying about you're saying that. I don't know. I've never seen Aliens, the first one ever.
Oh, that's right. The new movie. Well, the new movie there's a new one coming out that they just kind of released a trailer for within the last month.
Yeah.
It takes place in between Alien and Aliens.
So I guess I have to watch the first Alien before I watch that movie. Am I right?
Maybe. I don't know. I don't think it doesn't seem like any of the characters cross over. I think it's just kind of they wanted to do something new, but old school.
Yeah. So should I go see the OG Aliens movie? Or Alien?
Worth checking out.
Should I just watch parts of it or just like the whole thing?
I mean, it's not like a long movie.
Is it not? I've always thought it was like
Only
3 hours.
Well, no, it's like an hour and a half, 2 hours. Something like that.
All right, we'll get back to the books.
I think.
So Once in Future got first and 6th printing, missing only 5 issues from series. Oh, cool. If you need this book, Frankie, it's only $15 last sold in 7th print. I picked this cover because one, it was low print. If you believe in the Boom Studios is gonna come option news, like I think it's kind of tough. I think they're first to market with Netflix. I think that contract's a little messed up now, but if you're a collector of the series, like for $15 for this cover, I think it's a pretty good deal. Did you ever read this book, Pickles?
I did not, but it's just because I wasn't back into like collecting and reading steadily until probably like 2020.
Okay. I think you would like this. It's basically like a take on Knights of the Round Table and King Arthur lore.
I always dig that. I always dig those.
And it's fun because they're always on the run. Like it just starts out hot. So I think if this ever becomes a cartoon or like a live action, it'd probably be really expensive to do a live action because there's like dragons and there's like mythical creatures and stuff involved. But it'd be like a like kind of like show to watch. You want me to do that again? I'm gonna do that breathing thing again. Yeah, that was good. Arthurian lore. Yes, Frankie. Yes, thank you. I sold off all of these, couldn't really get into the story. Yeah, and like it kind of slowed down, right? It was like because like the first 4 issues, you're like, I mean, they're running away from like all these different like villains and whatnot, and but what's cool about the series is like, yeah, the grandma was tough for sure, Darth Lopez. Are we talking Final Fantasy VII? We might be.
That's the what is that? The materia that you have to get with the gold chocobo out on the island?
I think so. Did you ever get the Knights of the Round Table?
Yeah, you had to fight Emerald Weapon, or just the
Sephiroth?
weapon
You mean
in general.
Sephiroth?
Huh?
You mean to fight Sephiroth?
You didn't need it for Sephiroth. I beat it.
I did.
But
I killed Sephiroth with the Knights of the
you
Round
need
Table.
it to fight both Ruby and Emerald Weapon.
Oh no, I just used heal materia and I was good.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I was like, oh yeah, heal, good, yeah.
I'd do that too, but then I'd still die. Ruby Weapon was easier than Emerald Weapon. Emerald Weapon still.
Did you need? I got to Emerald Weapon because of my strategy
guide. I
guide.
don't need your strategy guide. I read that shit back. Like I looked up how to beat Emerald Weapon before strategy guides were a thing back in the day, and it still did not work.
Well,
they're like, do all this and equip this and blah blah blah, and then I still die.
Well, you didn't interpret the strategy guide correctly. Strategy guides work, Jason. They freaking work. Okay. Anyway,
because you remember how long those boss battles would take in that goddamn game.
Oh yeah. Like, here I'm gonna go.
Be sitting there for like an hour trying to beat friggin' one of the weapons. Just like
nowadays, it's like 5 minutes.
Doing the same shit over and over and over again.
Yeah, but it was fun. It was good times. We're about an hour and 6 minutes into the show. I want to thank all up to 21 live today. Thanks again, everyone, for joining the show. Really good comments. I never want anyone to agree with what we have to say. So when you don't agree, like I love that stuff because it creates a discussion. And so, yeah, again, me and Jason do not like the certain genres of Star Wars. However, Jason, would you agree that they're good writing? Like, would you agree?
I mean, they're good for what they are.
Good.
They just don't appeal. They don't appeal to my personal like taste and take on Star Wars as far as like what I'm into. But I see why people like them. I mean, they're not terrible shows. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like I said, I still watch them.
Yeah.
It just wasn't my thing. Granted, like I said, Rogue One took me a long time to get through.
Yeah, it's like you know, we do a YouTube show on like, you know, like the Mark Report and like stuff that we think is like good to look at, and then other people do FOC and we think it's garbage. But anyway, on to the last comic book of the day. And I think before I present this, I'm wondering if anyone's ever seen this period, because I never have. I think this is like, out of all of the books I've seen in the past 10 years, this will rise exponentially, not just with comic book collectors, but with the whole world. Like the whole collectors, like art, whatever you want to call it. And I think you'll understand why. And Jason, I guarantee you do not know this book, but you might. Black Boy, #1, the C2E2 exclusive. They don't post it.
What?
Sorry, I was reading a textbook or a text message. This is the perfect Grail book. Short print run. This came out, I want to say 2019, 2018. It's a con exclusive, so C2E2 exclusive. I saw 2K go, or I saw Raw go for 2,000. I don't know anyone that has this book. But if you do have it, you're sitting on like modern art, in my opinion. Hugh Brew Brantley goodness. Jason, have you ever heard of this book before?
I have not.
It's pretty amazing, man. I think anyone that knows who Mr. Brantley is, he's like an iconic artist, specifically in the African American community for sure. And if you go to his webpage, I mean, his art prints go for like 500 plus if you can find a copy of them. But this book is just, I just think this book could be like 5 figures in the next 5 years, depending on just him as becoming more famous of an artist and being more well known. I could see this, like, I could see Hubie, Mr. Brantley doing like Supreme collaborations, like that type of stuff. That's kind of like where he's at as an artist. But man, if you got this book, it came with a poster, I think, as well. Back in, you know, a couple years ago, I doubt people were really even paying attention to this book. It got a lot of press from YouTubers and just like press in general. But I never see this book on eBay, and I don't think it deserves to be on eBay. It deserves to be on like golden auctions. If you do have a copy of this book in any grade, man, congrats to you. I wouldn't sell it unless I was going to an auction and flying out there to sell it, because yeah, this book's just gonna rise in value, in my opinion. I think it's the perfect modern Grail, if you will. What are your thoughts on this? Do you have any thoughts at all?
I mean, I don't know much about it. I don't know kind of what the story is. Is it? I'm assuming it's an independent release.
Yeah, it's basically by him. Yeah.
I mean, was it a series or is it just a one-off book?
It's like a one-off book. It's just like his like conceptual art on like in comic form. But I don't know
dig the cover. I mean, the art on it's friggin' stellar.
Yeah, and if you guys don't know who Mr. Brantley is, like, check this out. Hebrew Brantley. Here, I'll share his tab real quick. But yeah, I mean, this is his museum. There, I can't even find, like, he's like, it has a ton of paintings from like different years and stuff. It's you know, it's very like modern art, right? It's pretty cool. It's very specific, right? So the buyer of this book's probably going to be very like a huge Hubie Brantley, fan with a lot of money. But yeah, I just thought it was like, out of all the books I was looking for, I was trying to find something to kind of cap off the show. I thought that was the coolest book, in my opinion. But
it almost looks like it was done with like was those oil pastels?
Yeah, very different art, right? Kind of different.
Like deep, just very like deep, vibrant colors, but
yeah, very cool stuff. But anyway, that's our show for the day, and no Fedora today. So we went a little bit quicker. We're gonna have 3 people on the panel today. But I'm first about favorite people. Let me see. Yeah, representing, for Cinco de Mayo, got my Mexico jersey on. Do you know this is the goalie's jersey, and I wore it to my wife's I think it was like Christmas or something during the World Cup. And dude, no one had this jersey. They all had the green and white ones, but they didn't have the goalie one. You know what I mean? Because like,
it's because the goalie ones, they change color all the time.
You can't get goalie ones, you change color all the time.
Well, they do. Just saying.
You change color all the time.
Like usually every Sounders game I go to, the goalie's got a different color jersey on.
Yeah. And yeah, you guys check out Black Crown tonight. Oh, Hyper Combo is going to be on there. Cool. Yeah, I'll definitely do that. I just wore it because my wife would kill me if I didn't wear a Mexico jersey. So, yeah, that's just me. I am going to the Sounders game today, Darth Lopez, but it is what it is. So yeah, that's our show today. What?
I saw Barcelona beat the hell out of the Sounders like years ago.
Was that when like
Barcelona was like touring around? That was like back when, I mean, not that Barcelona's like fell off too far, but like that was when they were like the team out of the like that or out of Europe.
Was that when like who was?
That was when I was working at like Red Hook back in the day.
Shit, that was a
it's
long
like
time
all the Mexican guys that I worked with were like
they were on to go.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
They're like, you want to go? And I was like, yeah, I'll like get me a ticket and I'll go.
Who was on the team? Like Beckham?
On Barcelona?
Yeah. Messi?
Well, it was like their European team. It wasn't anybody in particular. It was just the Spanish Barcelona team.
Oh. All right. Well, that's our show for the day. Thanks everyone for joining the show. Really good discussion. I hope you guys all enjoyed today's show. If you could subscribe, tell all your friends about the show. I'll do those market reports every Monday with a video game report as well on Thursday, Wednesday. And you all have a great Sunday. Stay dry out there. I'm not going to.
I'm going to go hit some golf balls.
He's going to go hit some golf balls while he gets hit in the balls. All right. Peace out, guys.